Good afternoon, Malplussers, and what a scorcher of an afternoon it is. I hope you can all find some time to go outside and enjoy the sunshine on your lunch break, but first your daily fix of curated trivia. I'm Melissa Hartzel and I'll be your tour guide through our eclectic mix of quiz questions today to find today's winners of the £1,000 pot, sampling the best of geography, TV, and even how well you know your animals. Just in case you're not familiar with the format, you have 10 seconds to answer 10 multiple choice questions. If you successfully navigate your way through the entire game without getting one wrong, you will win a share of the £1,000. Be careful though, we operate a touch piece, move piece policy for fairness, so once you tap an answer, there's no going back. If, like most people, you don't get them all right, you can practice by answering the remaining questions. Even though you're out of the running for the money, nothing that's worthwhile is ever easy, so stick at it and try again tomorrow. Lots of our players are setting a reminder on their phones for 12:15 every weekday so they don't miss out on the fun. Your questions will come up, so turning up is half the battle. Right, I've waffled on enough, so let's crack on with question 1. Which Scottish city stands at the mouth of the River Ness? Aberdeen, Dundee, or Inverness? The River Ness is one of the most productive salmon fishing rivers in Scotland, and recently a new type of monster was discovered in the form of pink salmon, a competitor to the Atlantic salmon we are so fond of eating. The fishermen responsible for dealing with this would be those of Inverness, and not Aberdeen or Dundee, which are both further south. The river is the origin of the name of Inverness, which is from the Scottish Gaelic Inbia, meaning mouth of the Ness. No, it wasn't a trick question, the clue was in the name. Moving on to question 2. Which of these birds is not a member of the crow family? Jay, robin, or magpie? Crows, more technically named corvids as part of the Corvidae family of birds, are amongst the most intelligent birds studied and can even recognize themselves in the mirror. One of these is less of a bookworm and more of a musically minded bird, and that's the robin, well known for their sweet songs that grace the nation's natural airwaves all through the year. Beware though, they're siren-like in their singing, as they can be incredibly aggressive and territorial. 2 questions testing your skills of observation in the natural world, but now let's segue swiftly onto question 3. Which Andrew Lloyd Webber musical is acted out by a cast on roller skates pretending to be trains? Starlight Express, Sunset Boulevard, or Aspects of Love? In case you missed it, Andrew Lloyd Webber was in the news recently slating a piece of government guidance that actually suggested his musicals should contain no singing to mitigate the spread of you-know-what. The show we're looking for here, though, is the magical Starlight Express. In 1976, during a trip on the Valley Railroad in New England, Lloyd Webber wrote a few songs for a cartoon feature about animated trains. These ideas then developed into a full-length musical that premiered in London in 1984 that has now been seen by more than 16 million people. After the first few questions, we've still got 3,180 of you playing for the money. Well done to you. With our warm-up done, let's roll on. Catch 22. Kurt Vonnegut, J.D. Salinger, or Joseph Heller? 3 of the most notable American writers of the 20th century there. The title, Catch 11, was originally suggested with a duplicated 1, paralleling the repetition found in a number of character exchanges in the novel. But because of the release of the original Ocean's 11, this was rejected. The author was Joseph Heller, who eventually settled with Catch 22 to keep the repeating digits so as to be more memorable, but with the 2 referring to a number of déjà vu-like events common in the novel. Onwards to question 5. What term for a piece of land nearly surrounded by water comes from the Latin for almost an island? Promontory, peninsula, or isthmus? 1 for the classical scholars amongst you. I did say we'd visit all sorts of categories today. As you may well know, the English language is heavily influenced by Latin, usually via another of the Romance languages. In fact, over 60% of the English language has its roots in either Greek or Latin. Very guessable, but it's peninsula that means almost an island, with piney meaning almost and insula, well, you can do the rest. A promontory is a raised mass of land that might sit behind a peninsula, and an isthmus, translated from ancient Greek as neck, is a narrow strait of land connecting two larger areas of land. Well, now you know. And time to check in with you as we reach the halfway mark. And 2,074 of you answering correctly and still playing for the £1,000 prize. Well done to Sheila 0, Alan 6, Archie and Ben 36. Keep up the good work as we move on to question 6. Which of these is not a recognised breed of domestic cat? Murray Grey, Russian Blue or Havana Brown? Historians have speculated that humans first kept our feline friends as pets 12,000 years ago when agriculture boomed in the Middle East, suggesting the increase in farming brought more vermin and, of course, the cats followed. Only 2 of these could have descended from ancient cats though, and it's the Murray Grey, which is in fact a breed of Australian cow. The first Murray Greys were actually bred and were an embarrassment when they appeared in a herd of Black Angus cattle in the Upper Murray River Valley in 1905. The things you learn, and I reckon that was a toughie. 1,007 of you getting it right, 346 choosing Russian Blue, and 671 choosing Havana Brown. That was a mind bomb of a question. Let's move on to question 7. Which of these is a real word? Contrafibularities, hornswoggle, or pericombobulation? Quite the mouthful. Finally, all that dictionary reading you've been doing to prepare for these games is going to pay off. Contrafibularities and pericombobulation may sound familiar, but they're both the fictional work of a certain Lord Edmund Blackadder, who makes them up to undermine the proud creator of the New English Dictionary, Dr. Samuel Johnson. If you got that wrong, unfortunately, you've been hornswoggled or tricked into the wrong answer here. Let's hope you're not too compunctious and can carry on playing for fun as we approach the business end of the game. So well done to 536 of you getting that one right. I'm impressed. Cracking straight on to question 8. Which of the following was invented first? Electric current defibrillator, instant camera, or cellophane? Necessity being the mother of invention for all of these 20th century innovations. And although the latter 2 are incredibly useful, I think we can all agree that saving lives trumps selfies and fresher leftovers. Back in 1900, inspired by seeing wine spill on a restaurant's tablecloth, a Swiss chemist called Jacques E. Brandenburger decided to create a cloth that could repel liquids rather than absorb them. 10 years and a lot of hard work later, the familiar packaging called cellophane that we use today was patented. Remember what I said about persistence at the start of the show? In 1939, the direct current defibrillator was invented by one of 2 Soviet Jewish scientists, and Polaroid developed the first instant camera in 1948 after a series of advancements from developing film into instant photos. And congratulations to 169 of you. That was a toughie. 226 going with electric current defibrillator and 124 choosing instant camera. Well done to Joshua 1, Kirsty, Ralph 2 and Coventry. I'm talking about you because you've done well there. That was a toughie. Here comes our penultimate question. Question number 9. Which of these has not played King Henry VIII on TV? Damian Lewis, Rowan Atkinson, or Richard E. Grant? Sometimes portrayed as overweight in artistic depictions, for the majority of his life, Henry VIII was into his sporting pursuits, and so you could say he was very athletic. All 3 of our actors here would therefore have been playing a younger king given their builds. Rowan Atkinson adapted his role of Blackadder to Henry VIII for a horrible Histories episode for CBBC, and Damian Lewis starred in the very popular series Wolf Hall in 2015, meaning it's Richard E. Grant who rose to fame in Withnail and I, who hasn't yet donned the King's famous tights and fur. Well, not for television anyway. And well done to 40 of you who have fended off the potential hazards and are still in the game for the final question. That was another toughie. We had 13 of you thinking it was Damian Lewis and 107 of you thinking it was Rowan Atkinson. Well, 40 of you still in the game for this final one. Good luck to you. You're playing for your share of the £1,000 prize. Here's our final question. Question 10. Which of these alphabets has the most letters in its standard form? Arabic, Greek, or Hebrew. Unlike a couple of days ago, we aren't going to ask you to name the 5th to last letter of any of these alphabets. With a grasp of languages, you may well know this one. Hebrew has the fewest amount of letters with 22, and with 24 letters, Greek is next, meaning Arabic has the most with 28 letters. Arabic can be a very tricky language to learn as it only contains script, where all letters are connected, instead of print, where individual letters can stand alone, like we're used to seeing in most languages. This makes it very hard for the untrained eye to distinguish between letters. Not an easy question by any means, but well done to you if you got that one right. And we have 22 winners today. A huge congratulations to you. Hannes, Kirsty 1, Sneaker, Coventry, Lynn 18, Ian 66, Jay Brooks, Jimmy Trivia, Finlay, Brian 72. Well, you knocked all 10 out of the park. Your winnings are well deserved, and with the pubs back open soon, you'll have a well-deserved drink on us. I'm back tomorrow for another set of questions tailored to your tastes. If you were a few taps away from victory today, I'll be expecting you back tomorrow for another crack of the whip, as it may just well be your day. Bring your friends and family along for the ride and challenge them to see how many they can get right. It's been a whirlwind of a game today, so thanks for having me. Have a lovely afternoon in the sun, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.